Hello and welcome to Weekending. As you know, most beauty and fashion trends in India are set by Bollywood. That's why I am here at the Oberoi Salon in New Delhi, where Fila, my hairdresser, is going to do the balayage hair color technique on my hair. It was done most recently by Kareena Kapoor Khan. So let's discover the process. More on that in a bit, but first let's go and find out what does it take to do a fashion week in the current world as FDCI and Lakme Fashion Week come together after 15 years.
My name is Tato, the DOP for the show, and this is Shantanu Nikhil's next line, SNN by Shantanu Nikhil, and we are rolling right now.
Welcome to the latest way of shooting fashion weeks, where there is a studio-like setup with beautiful graphics that can transport you to any place. The current Lakme Fashion Week constitutes of a majority of fashion films that are shot in Delhi and Mumbai and a few live shows in Mumbai, saving a lot of manpower.
Actually, instead of hiring 500 to 1,000 people who have to be there on different days, it doesn't take 7 days or 10 days to prepare for the event and another 7 days to dismantle everything.
This time we actually pulled in our collective strengths. There are a certain set of showcases that have been shot at the FDCI office in Delhi. So designers who are based out of Delhi got the opportunity to showcase there. There are also a string of showcases that are currently being shot across Mumbai as well.
In these difficult times, these shows and fashion films were created with a lot of precautionary measure in place.
Actually creating a mini bubble where the talent will actually be quarantined over a period of time before they even start interfacing with each other. There are nearly daily tests that are being done.
So at the end of it, if we did a shoot for about 10 days, we had 600 people in and out. So maintaining a bubble was the most important thing in this case. What we did also in between, that every 3 days, we got a truck, we got a full bus here with the equipment. So a rapid antigen tests were being done here every 2 or 3 days for all the people.
Suneet Verma is one of the 35 designers participating at Lakme Fashion Week. He reckons that this season is monumental because after 15 years, the two major Indian fashion bodies, Lakme Fashion Week and FDCI, have come together.
Well, it's a win-win situation for everybody, for FDCI and Lakme to come together, because there should really be just the two best teams putting the entire fashion world together in India. But I think the most important thing at this point is, of course, safety. We shouldn't let our guards down in that sense. So having to keep ourselves safe and yet being able to make a fantastic impression and do a great show has been a huge learning in terms of what they believe in safety. So everybody has to get their tests done, everybody has to wear their masks, everybody has to follow a certain protocol, and I think that is the reason why these fashion weeks digitally have been able to be done and are successful.
I would, that as long as both the parties get the respect that they have earned over the years, as long as my board and their board individuals feel that they are getting value for money, who knows, we've yet to get into a serious conversation, but I'm quite optimistic and good things may happen.
It has to be said that all efforts are in place to make sure Indian fashion enthusiasts don't suffer during the pandemic. Well, as Fila begins the process of giving me a global hair color, why don't you take a look at our next story where celebrity makeup artist Ashima Kapoor tells us how to contour right.
Hi, I'm Ashima and I'm going to teach you how to contour a round face. Today I have with me my friend Manika and I'm going to teach you how to contour her face. Contouring is all about creating dimensions, sculpting a face. The choice of the right color is very important. So one could contour a face with 2 shades darker than the skin tone. And let's begin with contouring her face, and I can give you more input as to how to contour it. The perfect shade would be to use a darker color, which is much darker than the skin tone. She's very fair, so I'm going to take a much darker color and use this on the face, and you can actually see the shade that I've used on her. It should be that dark. Now if I use the other one, let me use a little bit of that. You need to create a jawline. So we're first marking the areas that we need to contour. And I'm drawing very crisp lines. So I'm literally drawing a jawline. Now next up, the areas that we need to highlight, we would be using a lighter color foundation under the eyes, the tip of the chin, the bridge of the nose, and the center of the forehead. Next up, we blend the contour into the highlight. Now we've dampened the sponge and we're first going to blend the highlight. Now a good technique and a quick tip is to use the lighter color highlight that we used under the cheek, the hollow of the cheek that we created, just to get a crisper line. We want to set this contour and we want this lasting longer. So what is the technique to do that? I'm going to use a powder contour. So we're going to set this with a powder. You could do this with a bronzing powder, but make sure that the bronzing powder is matte and not shiny, because that would make the cheeks look fuller. So always contour with a matte bronzer or a matte contour powder. One could also directly contour with a powder if one wants to. That's an easier way of contouring, but this lasts much longer. So when you use a cream contour and a powder on top, it's going to be longer lasting. So we run the powder over the cream, the same motion downward on the jawline. So we're using a warm tone blush so that it gives us the illusion of sculpted cheeks. And we're not really using it on the apple of the cheeks. We're just using it more so in the hollows, continuing from the contour color that we used. Now there are a lot of face shapes that we have. We have a round shaped face, we have a triangular face shape, we have a square, we have a rectangle, we have an inverted triangle. Now essentially when we're trying to contour a face, we're trying to create a perfect oval, which is considered the perfect face shape. So essentially we should try and bring any face shape to an oval to create the illusion of a perfect face shape.
Hope you enjoy that story on contouring. I am in the middle of a Kareena Kapoor Khan inspired balayage hair color technique. This is my timer. I have to wait for the first step to get over. The first step is getting a global hair color in order to even out the color tone. And post this, they'll wash my hair and then they will use another technique called painting on it. We will witness that on the other side of this break. See you then. Hello and welcome back to Weekendy. Today we inspired by actor Kareena Kapoor Khan's balayage hair color technique. I'm at the Oberoi Hotel and I have with me Sheila, who's trying to recreate that look. We've already gone for step number 1, which is getting a global hair color, and now it's time for step number 2, which is painting of the hair. Sheila, why do you paint the hair?
To give you a soft, natural looking contrast. And unlike classic highlights, this is like without using foils.
Alright, so why do people get a balayage compared to traditional highlights?
We can enhance your feature more prominent and noticeable, and we can contour your face.
Oh really? This with my hair?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty face, but still that will be more prominent and
really?
noticeable.
Really? It highlights your face?
Yes.
I can't wait to see the end result. And another question before you start painting my hair is that, first you get global hair color, then you get painting of hair with more hair color, and it obviously dries out your hair. So what does one do to keep one's hair colored yet nourished?
Yes, after coloring, aftercare is very important. Using the right shampoo, conditioner, and once in a month, you have to visit salon to get the treatment.
Like
That's
a hair
very
spa.
important, yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
So let's begin with hair painting.
Okay, I'll start.
Well, Sheila's finally helped me get Kareena Kapoor Khan inspired balayage hair color, and now we move on to our next story, which is a very fashionable way to do charity. The late artist Anjum Singh and Kolkata-based Aradhna Jhunjhunwala, who works with design clusters across the country, came up with a collaboration that means to help. Friends since college, the two had a similar design sensibility. Years ahead, Anjum had cancer and was treated in New York, and that made her realize that she wanted to raise money for poor children who suffered from the disease but could not afford the treatment. So, through sale of sculpturesque jewelry, the friends decided to raise funds through design. The funds will go to Can Kids.
Aradhna, I really want to do something to be able to help. There must be so many children who don't have the monetary resources to be treated. Why can't we do something to help them? So how do we do it? I said, well, this is the right time for us to do something together. Let's join hands and let's do some good design where we can raise funds and donate all the money to for the treatment of children with cancer. So I think it just started as a very simple conversation.
The friends had created 40 pieces of jewelry using materials like silver and resin. To create the accessories, they used art forms like bidri and stone carving. The 40-piece collection will be sold online. The sale commences on the 14th of April. Anjum suffered from cancer for 8 years, and then she started working on the collection 2 years before she passed away.
Anjum actually sent me sketches from her regular sketches. She sent me her artwork and her watercolors, and those were my inspiration to create pieces that had that one would identify with as Anjum's work if they saw it, but also had some jewelry or sculptural value to it, and it could be 3D and worn. I mean, she obviously did work on paper. She has done a lot of sculpture also, but the pieces that have been made for this collection have all been inspired by, in fact, mostly from her last show that she had in Delhi in 2019 September. So we've been working on it for a year before the show.
Life is how you react to incidents, and the friends decided to give back and support those in need. Clearly, the best reaction to any situation. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Weekending. Thank you so much for watching.